Welcome to the Think Tank, where we use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased, logical conclusions. I'm your host, Leonard Sanderson, back again with my co-host, the Honorable Dion Powell. And I'm going to allow him to let him introduce himself as I always do. Dion?
This microphone is borrowed, but it's new to me. As you see from this t-shirt and suntan of the head, I'm in the Jersey Shore, on a contract for the governor's race. This state is flippable, and hopefully in 2023, if this guy wins, it'll be a swing state. I'm a district leader in the Bronx Conservative Party in New York, and here we are to talk some political.
All right. Well, I can't say that I want to wish you luck, but I don't want him to win, so I'm torn here. Anyhow,
Do you even know local issues? Do you know what's at stake? Do you know the man's name? Hey, how you doing?
I can't cheer for this man. If the Republicans win, the
If
Democrats will never get a
Republicans
chance to
win, it
vote
must
again.
be bad. If Republicans win, it must be bad.
Well, no, I can't say that because I have enough education to understand things like California is the largest state in the country. New York has the most homeless population. California has second. Texas, the second largest state with a very huge population, is like 10th on the list and only has like a tenth of the homeless population, even though it's like three times larger. I don't know. I don't know. Blue states are not doing well with homelessness,
Well,
and
we
there's a
know
problem with that.
who's in charge of those states. Democrats are in charge of those states with all that homelessness, especially the veterans in California, right, sir? Navy, remember, this ain't no pleasure cruise. Ever heard that?
So you're going to continue parroting me?
I'm not marrying you.
That is exactly what I just finished saying. Anyhow, what do you think Donald Trump's been the last week?
Playing golf. Who knows?
I know that them Kenkles don't look too good. I'm quoting the Midas Touch and them girls. I can't remember their name. They
He's up
funny
in
looking.
age. He's up in age. His
No,
hair's
not
looking a
Donald
little
Trump being
different.
up in age. You can't say that.
No, but that's a fact. He's getting older. He's the oldest president in U.S. history, I think, at this point. So let's
Yes.
pray that, yeah.
Anyhow, I don't know. He's not looking good. I I I don't know.
Age.
So,
Ageism is the one. Ageism is the number one form of discrimination in the world. So
hmm, coming from a black man is an interesting statement. You know, old people can get into any neighborhood they want. Black people can't. Old people can get discounts on everything. Black people pay more. Old people can,
what
man,
did I
stop
just
it.
say? I said ageism is the number one form of discrimination historically, too, in the world.
And I was just bringing up points to argue that, and I don't think you quite grasped it. Let me say this
No,
again.
no, I just said it's fact. That's a fact, Leo. Nothing argues against that. Common sense, logic, reason, understanding, picture of common sense, a pound. Ageism is the number one form of discrimination historically at that in the world.
Not so. All right, boom, check it. Let an 80-year-old man
Oh
be trying to
God.
cross the street. People will stop to let that man across the street. Let a
Family,
black man
there's
be
no
trying to
more
cross
to
the
be
street. They
said.
might try and run us over.
Family, there's no more to be
Let the
said.
police run up on an 80-year-old man. They're gonna
Say
give
no
him
more.
all types of,
We have a lot to cover
courtesies because
here.
he's old. Let what happens when the police run up on a black dude? Let an old man be
Oh
trying to sell his house. They're
God.
gonna try and, they might try and get over him on a little bit, but you know what? They
He's triggered.
historically will pay less to a black man for a piece of property than a white man for that very same property. You sound crazy. Anyway,
Wow. That was a
all
lot.
true facts.
Whew, I mean, just my borrowed microphone. Yikes.
Yeah, well, just,
And my
facts.
donut light, by the way,
You're
that's
not trying to
also.
gerrymander old people, you're trying to gerrymander black people. I mean, I can keep going. I can do this all day and twice on Tuesday. Let's go. All right. So the fallout from the tariffs that he says fits trillions of dollars. They're pushing back in Nebraska and Iowa.
Hmm.
where the governors where red politicians are saying the tariffs are causing. These are red states. These are red states. These are the people that would not say no to Trump about anything that are now saying the tariffs are pushing them into a recession. Do you think that these people finally saying the truth? I mean, because tariffs is a tax on the people, right? We did this in a prior episode, but I'm gonna just run through this one more time real quick because we have to understand what a tariff is before we can have this conversation, right?
They know. These viewers already know what it is at this damn point, even if it's that first episode watching us.
According to analysis by several economic organizations, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not an economist. I am going to be bringing one in soon. Donald Trump's tariffs, including those implemented during his first term, and new tariffs enacted and proposed for 2025, are projected to raise trillions of dollars in gross revenue over a decade. However, the net revenue will be lower, and the costs are expected to be borne. That means they're warned. That means the people that's going to actually incur the costs by American consumers and businesses. So there's going to be trillions of dollars that are going to be made by us paying higher taxes or us paying higher prices because of tariffs. And you have something you want to say?
Why can't the countries that the tariffs are imposed on pay them if they care about the American consumer so much? Oh, how about that?
You do understand the principle of tariffs. When Trump said he's going to apply tariffs, he did it so that people would not be able. His reason for doing it was so that company, which was actually logical in a deranged
Trump did
way.
something logical? Yes.
Well, no, what he said was right. If the prices go up so much, people won't be able to buy it, so they have to buy American. That is a great.
Ooh, we found another point here. Wow.
That
Besides
was his
making
point from
us
the beginning. The
as
problem
expensive.
is that America doesn't produce enough, so then all he did was price us out, where we can't buy stuff because we have no alternatives. So now we just got to pay more.
Actually, the alternative is for us to make our own stuff. The alternative is for those countries to decrease their tariffs on us and start buying American. There are plenty of options here, Leo. It's just that Donald Trump's the one person we want to focus on.
I don't know. The United States is not a large producer of many things.
Reciprocal tariffs. Even if we only made one shoestring a year, if countries aren't buying it, if countries are not going to adjust their tariffs on it to match ours or make it even better because we're the number one consumer in the world, we should get a discount their country, then hey man, President Trump, keep doing what you're doing. Until our capitalism kicks in America, we say, you know what? I'm tired of this product. I'm just going to make a different product and start making our own here in this country. Thank you.
Yes, Donald Trump is coming to fix things. He's going to make the number one financial country in the world by far, or he's going to make the people in the number one country in the world by GDP, which is gross domestic product, which is representation of goods and services sold in a year. So the number one country, the richest country in the world by far, he's going to make the people more poor because he wants to put tariffs because he has some kind of idea of how that's going to make this country great again, even though how like great again when you're already by far the richest country in the world, but we got to be great again. So then being the richest country in the world by far isn't great. What
Wow.
is? Please explain that to me, Dion. What is great if being the richest country in the world by far isn't?
Well, number one, we have to put our American people first, like our veterans. Remember, there was a time when veterans were like the gold standard of society? That's when America was great. That's one of the examples. There you go.
Okay, I believe he was talking about tariffs. The tariffs are supposed to make this country great again, right? But we're already the richest country in the world by leaps and bounds. So how is tariffs going to make that better when we're already the best?
Again,
Make
Leo.
that make sense to me.
Again, Leo, we want to make sure all the other countries buy from us. Number one. Number two, internationally, we want to make sure their tariffs are equal to ours, if not less so, because we are the number one consumers in the world, having economic leverage. That's where we want to put us position of power in the world economically. Understand?
No, I don't. We're already there. We were there before he got into
No,
office.
we're not there,
Where
Leo,
are we?
because
Where are we not there?
people,
Explain to me where we're not
because
there.
people and countries are looking towards China, and we can't let China
The
be in this
second,
economic position.
okay, okay. You know what?
ECOWAS, I mean not ECOWAS, I'm sorry, excuse me. We're talking about what, BRICS and these other economies that are trying to ship their way at us? No, no, no.
Okay, so you're saying that but he's not putting tariffs on the BRICS. Okay, listen. Let's
He
first
is putting
attack. Let's
tariffs
first
on
attack what
BRICS
you just said,
countries.
because China is the second largest economy in the world. That appears to be true. But let's go to what you call compromise.
But I want to know, how is America the richest country in the world? What does that actually mean?
What does it mean that we're the richest country in the world?
Yes, what does that mean?
Okay, it means that the United States GDP, gross domestic product, the amount of money, goods and services sold in a year, the amount of money that we're worth is 27 trillion in a year, while China, the second largest country in the world, is only 17 trillion, which means, well, 27 versus 17 is almost double. It's almost double. The second largest economy in the world is almost double. If you add the third and fourth together, that's 8 and 17, 24. If you add the second, third, and fourth largest countries in the world, their GDP together, it still does not match the United States GDP. If we're number one. If you add two, three, and four, you still don't match the Americas. That's what it means. It means that we're so
Okay,
rich
I
that you
get
can
it
add the.
now. Now I get it. The cliche, I get it now. Okay, we can move on. Yikes.
Oh,
Whew.
you didn't know those numbers?
But we want to stay number one. How about that? Keep America great again.
Hold up.
Remember
So
the
wait
hat? Remember the
again.
hat? Keep America again? Keep
How are
America
you
great
gonna
again.
make
Remember that?
how are you gonna make America great again when we're already that much more wealthy than everybody else? What are you doing?
But guess what?
Obviously, something was being
The
done right.
branding is always changing. Like Trump 2028, remember that? Donald Trump was right. All these things are branding from Donald Trump. And makes sense. Keep America great. How about that? You wear that hat. Maybe I'll get you that hat for your birthday. Keep America great. That's an actual hat that Donald Trump influenced.
Listen, if we're already so wealthy that the next three countries combined can't touch us financially, and Donald Trump is like, "Oh, we need to be respected. Nobody respects America. I'm going to make America great again, make us rich." Like, what are you talking about? Every country in the 70 when he got into office, over 60% of the world use US dollars to buy things from other countries. The US is worth more than the next three countries combined. People look to us for our military. This country was great. His branding was so that he could come in and do what he wanted, which is actually making America's poorer with tariffs. He's taking Medicaid from people. Tens of millions of people won't have health coverage. He's taking food stamps from people. That's food security for millions of families. Millions of people are not going to be able to buy food
Nick.
or enough food to feed their family.
Yes.
How is that making America great again? You have to explain to me how that works.
Well, Leo, again, let's wait and see. How's that sound? Next item.
The man is already a like you don't want to deny he's a dictator, right?
Yep, because we wouldn't have this show if that was the case. We'd be underground,
Didn't
remember?
Donald Trump say maybe I maybe people would like it if I'm a dictator? Is he not pushing dictator to let me guess, he's just he's doing all of the authoritarian dictator stuff.
Let me guess.
And now he's talking about maybe people want him to be a dictator. And yet you're saying that's Trump being Trump. Well, Trump being Trump is him being a dictator at this point.
Actually, no, we still have the Supreme Court. Remember those countries that get rid of their Supreme Courts, who I won't mention? Those places are turning into dictatorships. If you actually look at the current news about countries who get rid of their Supreme Court, he actually was start Supreme Court. So,
Like he did with a Gregor Garcia.
yeah, fuck that guy. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. like he did when turning the plane around, like he did with the woman he fired. What is her name? Miss Cook, Lisa Cook.
She's not
Oh
fired.
wait, did I just give a handful of
It's
times
the
where he just ignored the
litigation.
court?
So
He's been in
we have to
office.
see if the courts say about that one, Leo.
No, we don't. They made their decision back in May. They told him in May that he cannot fire anybody from the Federal Reserve. So him going after Lisa Cook was straight against what the Supreme Court said. He's been in court, what, 8 months? He's violated the court violations, I named four
Here we
times. So
go.
every other month, he's violating court procedures. Come on, that's what he's doing.
Such a
Every other
dictator.
month. I'm sorry?
Such a dictator, huh? Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to say he's definitely a dictator, but what I will say is when Congress wanted to go against him with that big ugly bill, or what do you call it? The one big beautiful bill. It's a big beautiful bill. And they wanted to go against him. He went in the chambers and closed doors that night. The next day, I don't know what he said to the people that went against him, but five congressmen went against him. He went in and talked to them. When he came out, four of them changed their minds and the other one wouldn't vote.
Isn't it amazing how President Trump is actually a politician, if you want to call him that, keeps his promises? Isn't it amazing? Like it or not, he gets
What
things
promises
done.
are you referring to?
The man wanted his big, beautiful bill besides securing the border. Remember that, Leo? The man got his big, beautiful bill July 4th when the man said he would. Wow, that promise was kept. The man
That's
said
true.
a boy is a boy and a girl's a
But you
girl.
know what he didn't
Oh, that
promise?
got done.
But he made that promise about the bill,
Yes,
but he
he
also
did.
promised that he wouldn't touch Medicaid. So
Can't please everybody.
yeah, if tens of millions of people die, it's just par for the course.
Hopefully they will to prove your point, but they won't. They'll be fine.
Not, I mean, they're not going to have medical insurance.
I'm sure they'll be fine.
By the way, if you're liking the content, please like, share, subscribe. We do these debates. We're on every Sunday, 9 p.m. We will be continuing to do this. We might disagree. Sometimes we find common ground. We're having these conversations. We're critically thinking to try and resolve some of this because across the aisle conversations aren't going so well. And conversations like this are necessary. Become part of the critical thinking community. Join us, and hopefully we can come up with solutions rather than in-house fighting because something has to be done. Things are not going well. This country is more divided than ever, and you can help. So, last and not least,
Oh,
he's
you're not
being
gonna.
snubbed globally. India's Prime Minister Modi ignored Trump's call amid 50% dispute, 50% tariff disputes. What that means is when Trump put the 50% tariffs on India so that they couldn't sell stuff in this country, and then Trump called them, he was like, I ain't answering. India was ignoring Trump. Do you know what they did afterwards? This is very important. Since you want to bring up the BRICS nations, they went to China with
China,
Russia.
Russia?
Yup. India, China, and Russia. Russia, where Trump was not invited
Oh, wow. Not invited to the cool
and
boys, huh?
came to the conclusion at the end of the summit that they were going to still use local currencies in spite of Trump's threats. That is what happened. Did you peep that international news?
Yes. And Kim Jong-un, who Trump liked to go
I
speak.
forgot about North Korea. Thank you.
Yes, right. Which we had no problems out of them during the first administration. Remember, Trump met with him. So the point
So
is,
now they're snubbing Trump.
hey
They got
man,
what they wanted out of him. Now they're
like
like,
he did
yeah.
Zelensky, huh? How about that? Trump stuffs people too.
Yes, he
Remember,
did. So now the United States is make America great again. We're poorer for our efforts, and the countries that once respected us, that he said he was going to stop from doing their local currencies and threatened, are now snubbing the president. So it appears that he has less respect than even Biden somehow.
Well, it appears that India, and mark my words about this, is going to have to face Trump's international policy when it comes to these matters. You remember what that was, Leo?
I'm sorry, one more time.
I, I said, looks like India is going to have to see Trump's international policy that he's been doing so far. That's worked in a lot of other countries. Remember that was
What's that?
FAFO. You know what that means?
I think what it appears to me is that a very old man is trying policies and tactics that worked for him in business for over 50 years, but politics is not business. And he's finding out that his tactics, his bullying tactics, don't work. That's what it looks like to me. They
Well,
can't work the same way.
it doesn't look
The
like
art
Trump.
of making a deal, right? The art of making a deal. This dude's gonna make a deal with us. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that on a global economic scale, the power of the pen, just like the power of the tariff, is actually causing the economic waves it should in his mind and on paper. But unfortunately, the internet, the media that reports these news, isn't going to give that information other than it's going to destroy us, which hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet. However, if you're paying attention to what's happening, he's been in office 8 months. All of the people he was buddying up to, Kim Jong-il, Vladimir Putin, all of the people he was buddying up against or buddying up with, just had a summit where he was not invited and went against everything he wanted. Meanwhile, the allies that we had previous to him being in office are also not quite happy with him, as was seen when NATO met and in our closest neighbor, our biggest trading partner, whom he had the low, who he gave the lowest tariffs to out of anybody because they're such an important trading partner, Canada, when he had to leave early because
Oh
things were
God.
so bad. So the people that were once considered our enemies don't talk to him. They are meeting without him. They're making policies that go against the United States. And the ones he was friends with, they don't want him around either.
So what? They don't tell the United States what to do, and the other way around is most likely. Because remember, these European nations, like others, they still have to come see us. That's why the international FAFO policy that he has in place is very good long term. So we have to wait and see.
Hold up, you gotta say that again. I messed up. Say it again.
I said, thank goodness the president has an international FAFO indirect policy because these same countries still have to come see us eventually, especially with this war in Ukraine. The European Union beyond that's come crying President Trump to still broker a deal with Putin. So there you have it.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the real problem that no one has said, and this is gonna be the first time anybody said it in public. I don't know if they're talking about it behind closed doors. What you have is a financial situation. The BRICS nations are coming together, and their GDP is at, well, everybody, they have spoken about this. Their GDP is larger than the G7, right? The United States is separating themselves from the rest of the United States and Friends G7. That's who they are, United States and Friends.
That's
The
right.
United States separates themselves from the G7, and the BRICS nations are already bit larger by GDP than the G7, or so close to. No, I think they're just very close. I apologize. Let me stand corrected. They're very
Education and
close
saving purposes.
for education and entertainment purposes. Absolutely. They're very close to it. But if you separate the United States from the rest of the G7, then the BRICS nations are by far larger than their competition because now it's not one, you have two separate entities. So, what the United States is doing under the rule of our current administrator and executive chief, the Donald Trump, the president, 45, 47, what's currently happening is the BRICS nations are being given a gift, and China is winning.
We don't want that. So hopefully
No,
we
we definitely don't want that.
good. So
Well,
you can support your
common
president.
ground. We agree on that much. Well, the the tariffs obviously were wrong. You know that.
You hope so. You better hope so.
Well,
So
I
far,
mean, Supreme Court was like, all right, you know what? You can't do this legally. You're wilding. Now,
they caught
the
up.
power of the purse is with Congress. What that means in English is they decide financial policies, fiscal
Get up your
policies.
behind and make something happen, Congress.
Congress, for some reason, doesn't speak up to Trump. The Supreme Court was like, nah, we're not doing this. They ruled against Trump and said, you do not have the ability to do this. It's not legal. And they canceled the tariffs.
Well.
The cancellation doesn't go into effect until October 14th.
Well, there you have it.
So, like my camera, when I went to buy it today and they hit me back in the email and was like, you know, you're going to pay the tariffs when they hit the border, right? I canceled
How can we not mad at
because
that foreign country instead of being mad at your president? Why can't we be mad at that foreign country?
what?
Okay, you're buying. Okay, whoever's putting the tariff price on you, why aren't you mad at them instead of the
Because
president?
the United States is putting it on me.
No, no, no. Who emailed you telling you what?
They're saying they're not going to pay the tariff. It's not on them.
Why
United
aren't you
States put that
mad?
tariff. Is
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
so.
whoa,
Hold
whoa.
up. Wait, wait,
Why
wait. Let me
can't
ask you a
they eat
question.
the tariff? My point is this: why can't they eat the tariff?
So here's why they won't eat the tariff.
Oh
The
well.
United States can't make policies for another country. So if the United States places a tariff, which is a tax, then why should another country pay the tax? It's not their tax. It's not their tariff. Their government didn't come up with it. Why would they pay it? It's your
Well,
government.
they,
They
well,
came up with the tax.
guess
They,
what?
they call it tariff. Your government did it. I feel
I
sorry for you, but you're the one to pay it.
Well, guess what? If they were a smart company, they might take the L long term, knowing that their product and brand will sell here. Whereas people are discouraged from buying it because of the tariff and buy something else, that may hurt them more so. So they may create business ideas to get around this. Besides putting on is them right crying about it, but they may go elsewhere. That's just my thing.
Okay, and as somebody who's been doing business for 10 years, 15
Oh,
years, let me give you a little bit on how come that won't work. Most small businesses, even medium-sized businesses, don't have a large, what's called margin, a profit from the cost of everything like electric bill, overhead, rent, whatever, employees, to where their selling point, where the margin might be 10, 15%. That's a pretty high margin, actually, right? So if your company's only making a 15% profit off of everything, and then there's a 50% tariff, you can't pay the tariff. So the only way you stay in business is if your customer pays the tariff. So these companies are not going to go out of business trying to appease Trump. That's just not feasible. Prices go up on stuff, the consumer pays it. If you have a business, you're a consultant, right? You're a consultant, right?
yes.
So if now you have an office, if you have light bill, if you have three people working for you, you have to charge more to your clients in order to pay for all that, right?
Theoretically, but again, I'm an American business owner, and as a consultant,
We're
they
not
have
talking about
profit.
tariffs. We're talking about
Me,
straight business.
right.
If you have three people working for you, if you
Mhm.
have lights, if you have electricity, if you have rent, if you got to water, if you got to pay all of this, your prices go up. You have to charge more. Is that correct?
Theoretically, yes.
So if
Or,
your overhead goes up,
or, or find ways to cut costs.
if but if something comes up where you can't cut costs, now we're back to tariffs. because a foreign entity just said it's going to cost you more. If you make bread, right? If that's your business, you make bread. I like making bread.
Me
If your
too.
business is making bread and the cost of wheat goes up, then it costs you more to make bread. You can't do anything about it. It's an outside entity that's costing you more money. And in order to be able to continue to stay in business, you have to raise the price of that loaf of bread because wheat costs more, right?
All
Is
right.
that logical?
Yes.
That's exactly what tariffs do. It raises the price and they have to adjust their prices in order to stay in business. That's what it is.
But unfortunately, another shark business could come up behind them and take their customer base. Like, let's say you didn't buy that camera. Guess what? There's other name brand cameras out there, like a good girl that might be at a cheaper price. Hmm.
Yes, that's a possibility. But
That's a fact. There's always another brand out there, Leo.
but find one without the tariffs. If Americans don't really make cameras, then you're going to pay the tariff,
Yeah, but then again,
especially the kind of high end cameras
the
I use.
companies are competing against each other, just
They're
like
all
any
raising the
price.
price. It's not going to be like we're going to keep our price lower. They're all raising the
But
price.
all the prices won't be the same, isn't that so?
They're all raising their price. They're all raising their price. Whatever the
But their
tariff is, they're all
prices
raising the
won't
price. You're
be
not
the
going to get around
same.
it.
So you got to find the right cheap gas station in the hood that's the cheapest. And I'm sure all the customers mostly will go there, and every other big name brand will hurt until they adjust their prices. That's my economic opinion on that.
Well,
I just want to see
if
America win, and Donald Trump more so.
I hear you, but the reality is you buy that cheap camera, and unfortunately, it's not going to be able to produce the same results as the high end ones. That's why the high end ones cost more.
Regardless of tariffs. Don't forget that.
Anyway, thank y'all for coming. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next episode.